I've already shown you how to do Amazon keyword research in literally less than 5 minutes. But in this video, I'm going to share with you the most advanced, up-to-date Amazon keyword research strategy to generate a master keyword list to maximize your Amazon listings SEO and to target the highest converting and most important keywords with your Amazon PPC advertising campaigns. Now, before we get to this tutorial, you'll need 3 tools. Number 1 is Helium 10. This is going to generate the bulk of your keywords. Tool number 2 is called Sellerise, where we're going to use this tool to extract extremely important Amazon brand analytics data and basically find keyword opportunities that Helium 10 and other tools will miss. And then finally, number 3, we are going to use the Keyword Dominator Boosted tool developed by Adam Runquist and the FBA Excel team, which is essentially this Google spreadsheet tool that pulls in the data from Helium 10 and from Sellerise, organizes and aggregates the data into an extremely powerful, usable list that we can use for Amazon listings and our Amazon advertising. Now, because this is an advanced keyword research tutorial, there are several important steps to follow and make sure you pay close attention to, but I promise at the end, it's going to be worth it. Lastly, if this video gets 30 comments, we're going to choose one random winner that is going to get free 1-month access to Keyword Dominator Boosted, free lifetime access to the Amazon SEO and Listing Optimization Masterclass, as well as the proven and profitable Amazon PPC Masterclass, all in one. So be sure to drop your comment below, and we'll be announcing the winner on our Facebook page and Instagram account, which we'll be linking along with all the other tools and resources in this video in the comment section and description section of this video. I hope you're excited. Get your pen and notebook out and let's get to it. All right, so for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a real product. So this is a pro bono client of mine, the Aruna Project. Basically what they do is free women from sex slavery in India, rehabilitate them, and then employ them to create different products, including these headbands. So basically what I'm tasked with is creating an extremely well-optimized listing and list to target with Amazon PPC advertising in order to obviously maximize visibility as well as sales for this product. So this is exactly what we're going to do. And now that we have our product, we need to just set up our tools. So first, if you don't already have a Helium 10 account, it's free to create an account and use the Chrome extension, but you will need to pay to use the features within that. So depending on how many products you want to optimize, you should be able to get away with using the starter plan. It'll be $39 a month, which is what I do. Do all of your research in 1 month and then cancel. And the specific tools we're going to be using are going to be the X-Ray tool and the Cerebro tool. So those are the 2 main tools we'll be using out of Helium 10, which will generate the bulk of our keyword list. Next is Sellerise. Again, this is going to pull super important Amazon brand analytics data and organize and aggregate it in a really powerful way. And what's great about Sellerise is they have a 7-day free trial. I use this trial for 7 days. Certain free trials aren't actually free. Like you can't use anything or it's just kind of like a scam. But here I was able to use all of the tools that we needed within that 7-day period without having to pay. Now that I'm optimizing more products, and basically if you need to kind of extend it, it's $100 a month. So if you can be strategic, get all your products optimized within that 7-day period, or at least a big chunk, you can save, basically $100. So I'm paying for this now, but the free trial is great. And I hope they kind of continue that because anything can change, within 24 hours after making this video, but hopefully not. So that's Sellerise. Again, with these accounts, what you'll do is sign up and then you'll connect your Amazon seller account. And sometimes it can take up to 24 hours for that data to kind of process. So just kind of keep that in mind that you want to do this as quickly as possible. And then lastly is the Keyword Dominator Boosted tool, which you can kind of see here. And I'll have links to each of these tools along with kind of discount and coupon codes in the comment and description section of this video in case you want to use those and support me. Really appreciate that. And you get a percentage off as well. So they also have the Ad Tactics Amazon PPC platform, which is also what I use. I have a full video about that. But for this, all you need is the Keyword Dominator tool specifically, which you can get here. And they also are currently running a $1 7-day trial. So you can use it. If you don't like it, you're basically out $1. If you do like it, then you can kind of continue on after that 7-day period or just cancel. So we're basically just being as strategic as possible to get all of that important and vital keyword data while paying the lowest price for it, basically. Next, go ahead and log into each of the tools. And specifically with FBA Excel, once you log in, here on the left-hand side where you see Keyword Dominator Boosted, click the drop down, And then what you'll do is click on this button, Save Keyword Dominator Boosted. So basically what this will do is this will make a copy of the Google Sheet tool, which I'm about to show you how to use, into your Google account. So as long as you have a Gmail account, then you have Google Sheets. So this will automatically save to that account. So make sure you're aware of which account you're logged into. So I make sure that I'm logged into my business account, for my private label products business when I'm using this. And once we click on this button, we'll make a copy of this Google Sheet in our Google Sheets account. Step 1, enter in your FBA Excel login email and then your password here. So just type them, exactly as they are into these 2 cells. Once that's done, all you do is click on authorize. And the first time you do this, you might have to click on authorize a couple of times. So like authorize, and then Google's gonna have a pop-up and then you hit authorize again. But once you do that the first time, then you just have to click the authorize button and it'll go. And the reason for this is basically we're looking for this little script to appear at the top of our tab, which should happen here in a second. So you just kind of give it a second to run. And we now have this new drop down here at the very top, which is exactly what we need. All right. So now we have the tool set up, we're ready to go. And it looks really scary and really complex at first, but I'm gonna show you exactly how to navigate this. So first things first, for your competitor keyword data sources, select Helium 10. We have 3 options to select from: Helium 10, Zon Guru, or Jungle Scout. We're gonna select Helium 10. Now, if you already have a Jungle Scout account or a Zon Guru account, go ahead and keep that account. If you're wondering, hey, should I also get a Helium 10 account? No need. So whatever account you already have of those 3, they're all great tools. They'll all pretty much do the same thing with slight variance. I prefer Helium 10 personally, but there's no reason to pay for an extra tool. And if you already have Helium 10, that's great. So if you don't have any of the tools, then get Helium 10. That's what I would recommend, but these other tools are great as well. Next, just make sure that all of these here are checked. If they're not, just make sure that they are. So that's 1 through 10 ASINs that we're gonna be analyzing, which I'll show you in a second. Scroll down. For keyword tool data sources, we want Cerebro, Helium 10 extension, which is X-ray, and then Helium 10 extension, that's X-ray 2, which I'll show you here in a second. So have these 3 selected, scroll down. And then finally, for other data sources, you wanna make sure you pick Sellerise. Okay, so make sure that's checked. So these are all that's checked. Everything else, leave as is or blank. All of this keyword list filter criteria and other settings, leave as the default. These are great default settings to have. Next step, we're going to enter our main product keyword here into this cell, and then list our top 10 competitors, or basically the top 10 sellers for our specific product type here, where we're going to extract the keywords that they're using and exploit their weaknesses. So for our main keyword, again, this is our product, which is basically, you'll say women's headband. We're gonna type in women's headband. And if you're wondering what your main keyword is, if a friend or family member asks you, hey, what do you sell on Amazon? Your response, that's the main keyword. All right. So what are you selling on Amazon? Women's headband. That's women's headband. Now for our top 10 competitors. So if you're doing keyword research for a product that you haven't launched yet, which is usually the case for me, then you'll just put in 10 kind of different ASINs. Basically, these will be your top 10 competitors when you do go to sell your product. Otherwise, if you're already selling an existing product on Amazon and you want to re-keyword optimize your listing, which is always a good idea, then you'll enter in your own product ASIN here and then your top 9 competitors here, if that makes sense. Okay. So this is a brand new product. We don't have a listing on Amazon yet, which is what we're creating. So in this case, which is going to be the majority of the time, we're going to go to Amazon. We're going to type in our main product keyword, women's headband, hit enter. Next, what we're going to do is in the top right, make sure you have the Helium 10 Chrome extension installed, which you should, if you went through the Helium 10 process, which we'll show you how to do. So click on the Helium 10 Chrome extension in the top right corner. Then what we're going to do is click on X-ray. And this is going to extract important data, including Amazon revenue data. Now, keep in mind, all these tools, Zon Guru, Jungle Scout, and the like, all estimate Amazon revenue. So these aren't hard data sources, but they're fairly accurate overall, and they're better than guessing for sure. So once the X-ray tab pops up here, go to the revenue column and then click twice so you order from highest to low. So basically revenue in descending order. Next, what we're gonna do is just kind of hover over each and look at the image and think about what you wanna do is find the 10 highest selling, most similar products to your own. That's the key, the most similar products. So we have a very specific type of women's headband here. So we want to find the 10 best-selling, most similar products to this one. Okay, so this is a single headband that's higher price point, $17.50. very specific type of design. So I'm gonna go through and just kind of select what I believe would be the most. Now, this isn't a perfect or exact science. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter as much because a lot of keywords are gonna start overlapping. There's gonna be a lot of similarity. Kind of think about like a Venn diagram. There's gonna be a lot of overlap, but it's a good kind of mindset to have when you go into it. Instead of just blindly, selecting the top 10 here, we wanna be a little bit more strategic, okay? And that's where a lot of people mess up, and a lot of other kind of gurus that don't even sell on Amazon don't tell you. So we're gonna go through and kind of look to see, okay, this one's pretty similar in terms of design and like, let's say price point, right? We're just gonna go through, and again, the 10 starting, so it's like the most similar, then the next, and so on, all the way down the list. And again, I'm just kind of, I'll say this one as well in terms of the design. And it completely depends on your own product. And we'll just kind of go through and we just select over here until we have 10 selected. So once you have your 10 selected, all you need to do is go ahead and record the ASIN for each. So kind of going back to show you an example, you would just copy, for example, this. So copy, go to any kind of Google Sheet or notes and Command V to paste, right? It's right there. So that's all you do to kind of copy the ASIN. So I've already gone ahead and done this. All you need to do is record the ASIN. You don't need all this other data. I just kind of wanted to show you. So we have here the ASIN, link to the Amazon product, the brand name, the price point, and their estimated monthly revenue. And because this is our number one competitor that's most similar and highest revenue. And then we want a total of 10 because the more data, the better. So 10 products to kind of reverse engineer and analyze is plenty. So now we have our list of ASINs, or basically list of products on Amazon. We're going to basically copy this and then paste into this section here. So I'm actually literally, because I've organized it in this way, I'm going to Command C to copy, Command Option Shift V to paste. So there we go. So if you go ahead and copy and paste each in order from your top competitor on the way down, all that's done. Great. These are the ASINs that we're going to reverse engineer. So step 1 is now complete. So up here in the Keyword Dominator Boosted tab, click on it. And since 1 is done, now we're moving on to step 2, which is download the new data. So go ahead and click on this. And what's going to happen is a bunch of tabs are going to open. So ready to download new data? The answer is yes. So click on yes. And you'll see all these tabs start opening all over your computer, and basically just extract and download the data one by one. So we're going to download it here, upload into Google Drive, and then import. So download, upload, import. That's the next process that we're going to go through. So let's let this load. Now for our next tabs, this is really powerful. This is the entire copy for each of those 10 listings or ASINs right here. And it looks really messy, but it's really simple. We're going to download this. So at the very top, we are going to double click to select the ASIN. So it's kind of within the URL. At the very end, there should be B0, XYZ, whatever it might be. So B013H, whatever. We're just going to select that, Command C to copy. Then we can just right click, click Save As. And you want to make sure you do this in order. So because this is the first tab, it's going to be 1_ASIN. So 1_ and then I Command V to paste the ASIN. We're going to save that to our desktop. Okay, so 1_ the ASIN. Hit save. There we go. Exit out of that tab. Again, so I'm going to double click, Command C to copy the ASIN at the very top. Click Save As to right click. Then this is now 2_ Command V for the ASIN, save to desktop. And again, we're going to do that now a total of 10 times. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's do one more to show you. Just run through it quick. Command C to copy, right click, Save As, and then this is now as number 3_ ASIN, and so on. And then we exit out of this tab and move to the next, and so on for the total of 10, and go ahead and download. We're going to go back to the Helium 10 Chrome extension, click on X-Ray again, and then now we're just going to download all of the data here. So in the bottom right, I might have to move it a little bit so you can see it. Just click on Download, and you want to make sure that you download each report with a specific name. So this one is going to be XR, which stands for X-ray. So it's capital X and R. So we'll go ahead and rename, not sure if you can see it on the screen, XR, hit enter. Great, now that is saved. You want to exit out of that. Once that's downloaded, you're good. So you can kind of exit out of that tab. So I'm going to just exit out. Next, again, this is X-ray 2 for the specific top 10 ASINs here. So you're going to go back to Helium 10 Chrome extension, click on X-ray again. And then here again, we are going to download the data as well. And for this file, we are going to name it XR2. So capital XR2, hit enter. That is now saved. X out of that. And I'm going to exit out of this tab. Now we get to our final Helium 10 data source, which is Helium 10 Cerebro, where we reverse ASIN searched for all the keywords that these ASINs are ranking somewhere for. And as you can see, there's a total of 16,000 keywords. We want to get this number down to about 2,000. And the best way to do that is through search volume. So I usually do this between 100 to 300. So we're going to see minimum search volume 300. And let's see if that trims our list down to 2,000. So right around 2,000, it doesn't need to be perfect. 2,000, so it's about 3,000. So let's try search volume of 350. We just kind of play around with that minimum search volume until we get to around 2,000. So we're going to see if that, maybe one more. So let's try 375. That should be good. So basically, we're only filtering to show keywords that have at least 375 monthly searches. So 2,100, that's pretty close. So that's great. Once we have about 2,000 here, again, not an exact science. We just want to have a vast number of keywords without, those smaller, longer tail keywords that aren't as important. So we're going to go ahead and export data right here. Export as CSV. And then we're going to name this file CR, which stands for Cerebro. So we're going to go up here. We're going to name it capital CR for Cerebro. Hit enter. That is now saved. We're going to X out of that. So we're downloading all the data to our desktop, and then I'll show you where to upload it in your Google Drive, and then it'll automatically sync in to your Keyword Dominator tool. So here we go. And the final data source is our Sellerise data. So first, starting with the Keyword Hunter tab here, all you need to do is click on Download Report over here. So click on Download Report. Name this file to SR for Sellerise, and then hit enter, and we save that, and then move to the next tab. And then now we're extracting a lot of brain analytics data and other data for the specific ASINs. So what we're going to do is, again, Command C to copy the ASIN, just like we kind of did before. Hit Download Report. You're going to name it to capital SR underscore, and then the ASIN. Command V to paste the ASIN, save to desktop, and we're going to move through. So let's go through quickly a couple other examples. Double click to select all, Command C, Download Report. Remember, it's SR for Sellerise underscore, Command V to paste the ASIN. We hit save. And then this is the final one. So run through it quick. Command C to copy, Download Report, SR underscore ASIN, save, and so on until we get through the 10 ASINs again. And then we're done with really the majority of the hard part. Now that all of our vital data is downloaded, what you'll want to do is log into your Google Drive account, which is drive.google.com. Once you're there, navigate to the FBA Excel Tools folder. So kind of click on that. Then we're going to click on Keyword Dominator, then click on Keyword Sources Imported. Then what we're going to do is we're going to upload into the Helium 10 folder, the Amazon folder, and the other folder for Sellerise. Okay, so we'll begin with Helium 10. So I'm going to double click on Helium 10, right click, and then upload file. We're going to go to desktop where we saved. And remember, the files that we want to upload are CR, XR, and XR2. And make sure again that they're named correctly so that the tool can read them. All right, so we're going to select those. I'm going to move myself out of the way so I can hit open. As you can see, they are uploading now, so I can go ahead and navigate away. There we go. Perfect. Click on Keyword Sources again. Next, we're going to go to Amazon to upload that Amazon listing data. Right click, File Upload. Scroll down. And again, we want to navigate to 1 through 10. Remember, it's 1 underscore ASIN through 10 underscore ASIN. So all of these right here. Move myself out of the way. Click on Open. Give it a second to upload, which is usually very, very fast. There we go. They're all in there. Click on the last time keyword source is imported. We want to go to the other tab now for Sellerise. So for other, right click, File Upload, scroll down, and now we want all of our Sellerise. So it's SR and then SR underscore, all of the ASINs. So there should be a total of 11, right? 10 ASINs and then 1 SR report. So select all, click on Open, give it a second to upload. And then once you kind of see that everything is uploaded here, which usually takes just a few seconds, we are good to go. All the data has now been imported into our Google Drive. Oh, and by the way, when you sign up for your FBA Excel account, it'll prompt you to enter the email associated with your Google Drive account. So you just enter that email. So for example, if it's Sumner@example.com, and that's my Google Drive, email, then I just put that email into FBA Excel and it runs through the whole process. So that's kind of how it integrates, but very, very simple. And a quick point of correction, when you're uploading your data from your desktop into Google Drive, you want to do so in the keyword sources new folder, not the imported. So I got it mixed up. So go to the new sources, and then for other, that'll be Sellerise. For Helium 10 or H10, that'll be Helium 10. And then for Amazon, that'll be our Amazon. Okay, so just make sure it's in the keyword sources new folder. And with all the data imported, what we'll do is head back to our Keyword Dominator Boosted tool. Here, click on the Keyword Dominator Boosted tab. And now we're going to import that data into the tool. So go ahead and click on that. And basically what it's going to do is take all of that data from our Google Drive and import and sort and organize and classify it here in a really powerful way into the tool. And as we can see, if we look on the right-hand side here, we can see that all of our files have imported correctly. So you can kind of verify here, all of the JSONs are imported correctly. That's our Amazon data, our Helium 10 data, that all three of those files are correct. And then all those files from Sellerise have also been imported, as you can kind of see here. So we are good to go. All the bulk work has been done, and now it's time for the fun stuff. So head over here to the next tab with the little key here. Open up the Helium 10 Cerebro tab. So I'm just going to close it again so you can see here in the first column. Hit that little plus button. Then from here, want to go back to the tab, Keyword Dominator Boosted. Step 4, add keywords to target list. Helium 10, and then we want to do A, add Cerebro keyword. So go ahead and click on A. Again, give it a second to run. And while these scripts are running, make sure that you don't click on anything else. Add Cerebro. Yes, we want to continue. And there should be one more pop-up here. And if we do get a second pop-up, we want to say no to it. So append data, very important. Append data, say no. Okay, so we want to say no. Now, as we can see, all of the Helium 10 Cerebro data is being imported here. And our keywords have been added. Okay, perfect. So we have all of our Helium 10 data, our Amazon data, and now we just need to add our Sellerise data. And actually, once that's finished, go back to Keyword Dominator, click on Add Keywords, Helium 10, and then we'll also do B. Okay, so before we do that, make sure that all of these ASINs are selected. We want to basically kind of import all that data. So then go back here, add keywords, Helium 10, add alpha ASINs, go ahead and click on that once all of those check marks are selected like you see on the screen. Add alpha ASINs, yes. And this is going to import even more data that we can work with. Because in general, the more relevant keywords, the better. Whether you're targeting with advertising or with your listing, we want as much as possible as long as they're relevant to our product. So now if we click on the third and final tab with that little wizard emoji, and we scroll down, this right here, this section on the bottom left is our target keyword list. And as you can see, we have a total of 117 keywords currently. And we're going to add a few more, but these are basically going to be our top most important relevant keywords. There will be some irrelevant keywords in here that we'll have to filter through, which will be kind of the last step. But the majority of these we're going to use for our listing and Amazon ads. And it's extremely, extremely important. But there are some keywords that are missing. Now, also something to keep in mind is this product is very specific and niche. Basically what I did when I identified ASINs is the headband that we're kind of using is a much higher price point, $17.50 for a single headband, where there's other sellers selling like a set of 10 for $12. So it's a much higher price point, a much better quality as well. So because of that, we found similar products that were around that $15 to $20 price point for one headband, similar design. So there were very, very few options on Amazon that met this criteria. And those listings weren't really well keyword optimized. And we're kind of extracting all that data from those weak ASINs, more or less. Then because of that, we have a lower keyword list. So basically, the more competitive and the better your competitors are at marketing, at creating copy and keyword optimization, the bigger your list is going to be. The weaker your competitors, the less it's going to be initially, but that's again why we use Sellerise data, which we haven't imported yet. So 117 keywords, that's kind of the reason for a lower number of keywords. And it completely depends on the product. The more demand in a product category, the more keywords. The smaller the niche, the less keywords. So it's all dependent. We're going to go back to the keyword tab here. We're going to minimize Cerebro here. Just hit that negative sign. Then here for Sellerise, we want to click on the plus. Next, we want to select already on target list, which is going to basically highlight all the keywords that we're already targeting. So then what we want to do is once we do that, click on Keyword Dominator Boosted, filter source table, and click on Sellerise. And basically what this is going to allow us to do, as you can see here now, we can filter. So for keyword, click on the filter next to keyword, sort by color, fill color, and then we want white, okay? Basically, this color here means that it is already on our list. White means that we're not targeting it yet, so we want to maybe add it. So click on white. And then this is where a little bit of that manual process comes into play, where you will go through and simply check any keyword that you see here on this list that is relevant to your product. So if it's relevant, meaning if someone types this keyword into the Amazon search bar and they're pretty likely to buy it, right? If your competitors are ranking there, if you think, oh yeah, if someone types this keyword, they're very, very likely to buy, you want to target it. If you're really not sure, you have to kind of make that decision. But if you're pretty sure, it's like for example, if this had basketball headband for men, well, we sell a woman's headband, so that's not relevant. Or try to find something that's it. Yeah, there we go. Headbands men. This is specifically for women, this product. And by the way, a little hack is if you're selling a product that can appeal to both men and women, you can sell the exact same product, but make two different listings. So they're two different ASINs, even though it's the same supplier, the same product, in maybe even the same design. But in one listing, you have female and women-based keywords. In your other listing, you have male-based keywords. And in the male listing, you have images of men using the product. In the female, you have images of female. Because remember, the product that appeals to everyone appeals to nobody. So if you have a product and kind of appeal to two different kind of groups, make two separate listings. Just something to consider. So in this case, if we want to, also target men, that would be a totally separate listing, a whole other kind of keyword research. So in that case, I'm not going to select this. Ski headbands for women, yeah, let's say that's relevant. And so on. Karma headband, that is a brand that is very similar to ours, so we definitely want to target that, and so on. So anything that is relevant, you want to go ahead and check. So I'll go ahead and move through and kind of manually go through this list. Basically, until we get down here into the blue section, these are already on, so we don't need to do that. So just from basically this point up to here, we want to quickly skim through and just add any additional keywords to maximize our SEO and our ad space. And as you can see, I have checked any keyword that I believe is relevant to our specific product all the way down. And once this is complete, click on KW Dominator. We're going to go back to add keywords, but here we're going to add manual keywords to our list because this is classified as manual. So go ahead and click on add manual keywords. And all this is going to do is run a script, hit yes. That'll take all of those checked keywords and move it into our master keyword list in that kind of keyword wizard tab. And once that's finished, we go back to the keyword wizard tab. We had 117 keywords before. Now we have 177 keywords, which is amazing for this specific product. Now, once it's complete, there's a lot more that you can do if you go back here to the tab, with this listing wizard optimizer. But I'll tell you what I like to do, which keeps it more simple and in my opinion, still the best, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all these keywords here. So all 177. So all the way down, I'm going to Command C to copy these keywords. And then what I'm going to do is go to a separate Google Sheet. I made a tab called Keyword List. And then I Command V to paste everything. And then I'll just kind of modify this a little bit. So here I will insert a checkbox and I'll just bring it all the way down here. Because basically this is a great list, but with any automated tool or semi-automated tool, there are going to be certain keywords here that aren't relevant to us that we kind of want to get rid of. So we're basically going to go through and just make sure we double check that each of these keywords is 100% relevant to our product. Meaning if someone searches for it on Amazon, they're extremely likely to buy our product. But before I do that, if you go here to the very top, I just kind of formatted this a bit to have, is this relevant or not? The keyword, and then SV stands for search volume. And then I organized from Z to A, from highest search volume to lowest. Again, this is all estimated. But as you can see here, these keywords don't have any associated search volume because they were added manually. So what we're going to do is Command C to copy these. Go back to our Helium 10, which again, if we even sign up with the starter plan, we have access to this. So we are going to click on Tools. We are going to go to Magnet, which should be right down here under Keyword Research. So click on that. And then what we're going to do is enter these keywords into Magnet to get some estimated search volume. So click on Analyze Keywords. We're going to Command V to enter these keywords in here, which isn't too many, and hit Enter to then analyze these keywords. So some of them might have an estimated search volume of 0, which isn't always the case. But as we can see, we have a bit more accurate kind of search volume for some of these. So you just export this and then upload that back in here, or manually, add the search volume one by one for these 15 keywords, but just to get that added estimated search volume for these remaining keywords. And as you can see, we now have all of our relevant keywords checked here, organized in search volume. If we scroll down, all of these keywords that are not checked are not relevant. For example, Nike headband, way too broad, and in general, trademark terms, even if you have them in the back end of your listing, could get your listing suppressed or even your account shut down. So for some of those really iconic like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour type of keywords, I don't want to target them. I may want to target them with advertising, maybe, although that's a very competitive keyword. And I don't think I want to include those in my listing because that could create issues. Headband for men, scarf headbands. So scarf headbands are irrelevant. We don't sell scarf headbands. Headbands for men, these are for women, not for men. So that's some of the reasons. Jeweled headbands, there's no jewels on them. So even if they're slightly relevant or maybe loosely, we don't want them. We only want to target both with our SEO and advertising, the most relevant, which we've done here. And now I'm going to show you an advanced hack that even 8-figure sellers aren't doing, at least not yet. So what we're going to do is go to a tool called ChatGPT. I've covered this before on my channel. If you're not already familiar, it's an artificial intelligence tool where it analyzes text and then gives you new text. And what we want to do is we already have an amazing keyword list already, but we want to make sure that we're targeting every single relevant keyword and we're not missing anything. If we're missing keywords, that means we're missing sales. So it is so worth either yourself or a team member putting in this effort and energy to getting this right. So here's the hack, okay? No one's talking about this. So all right, here we go. We get ChatGPT, which is a free tool. Then we just simply click on new chat in the top left corner. And then it opens this chat you see here in the bottom center. And we say something like this. Hi, Amazon keyword expert. Here are a list of keywords we're going to optimize our Amazon listing with. Do you feel that there are, and actually optimize our female headband Amazon listing with? Do you feel there are any important, highly relevant, unique keywords that are not already on this list? If so, please list them and don't duplicate words. So here's our original keyword list that we just copied and pasted from our Google Sheet. So there's all our keywords that you already saw, all the way down. Hit enter, and basically we want ChatGPT to start finding new keywords. So here we go. Here are some additional suggestions. Yoga headbands for women, velvet headbands for women, twisted headbands, turban headbands, elastic, knotted, etc. Some of these are going to be relevant, some of them are not. But there's a lot of great descriptive keywords that ChatGPT is creating, and it's still going. And basically what we're going to do, and this is literally like within seconds, okay? We'll just hit stop generating, it's fine. All right, this is perfect. So we're gonna copy this list. Command C to copy. Head back to our Helium 10 magnet tool to the analyze keyword section. Command V to enter, and then we're gonna enter those keywords, okay? Because basically we've identified new keywords, and then we want to see the search volume for those keywords. Okay, and we're going to organize from highest to low. And what's awesome is any of these keywords, okay, that is relevant to your product, like maybe spa headband, or we sell a gold style headband, gold headband, hippie headband, elastic, etc. So these are all unique keywords. If they're relevant, we're going to add these then to our keyword list. And literally now from Brain Analytics data, Helium 10 data, using artificial intelligence all combined into one, you have the best, most comprehensive keyword list that none, I can promise you, not a single one of your competitors have. And it is going to help you outrank and out-advertise them like crazy. This is so powerful, and I hope you see the value of this. And now you have this master keyword list. You're like, great, I kind of know what to do with it, but Sumner, how do I create my titles? How do I create my bullet points and description? Well, you're in luck because I have full videos on those exact topics here on this channel, which I'll be linking in the description section and I'll include here on the screen. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know in the comments, which will make you eligible for those 3 prizes that we mentioned earlier. So check out those videos and consider subscribing for more. And as always, thanks so much for watching. God bless you and your business, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.